Hey guys, it's Dani. Today I have a review for you guys of the Oase BioStyle 75. This is a hang on the back filter from Oase that I wanted to add to my mini Dutch aquarium that you've probably seen the video. I posted it last week. And well, I did the video review for this one quite a while back, but it ended up being such a negative one that I was like, should I post this? Should I not? But you know what? There are some valid things in that review. There are some things that maybe you should know about this product and judge for yourself. Obviously, since I'm not running it on that aquarium, it did not work out for me. There are some things that are just not what I expected them to be fully honest. So mind you, this is a non-sponsored video. I paid 69 euros for this filter. So I'm trying to make a little bit of my money back by making this video. So, you know, take it with a grain of salt. Maybe the things that, you know, were a no-no for me, they might be okay for you. But there are some things that I do think you should know about this product before you purchase it, and I hope that this is useful for some of you. Hey guys, it's Dani. Today we are going to try and review, I'm not going to try and review, I will review, but I'm going to try out the Oase Hang on the Back filter now. I'm a little nervous because this is a very expensive filter. Now, I paid for it 69 euros. Mind you though, I live in a country where everything is twice as expensive as most other places because we're an island and that's how things are. And probably there are other aspects that I don't know. But generally speaking, this is a much more expensive hang on the back filter option. So I'm a little nervous. Why did I buy it? Well, because it looks so good and I've actually seen some reviews on it. I know there are some flaws, which I'm going to show you as well, but I think I can get over them with some little trickery of sorts. And I've been thinking of buying one for my nano tanks for a while, and by while I mean maybe a year or so. So I finally bit the bullet and said, hey, let's waste some money this weekend, shall we? And that's exactly what I did. Enough blabbing, very, very boring details to share. Ooh. Right, so from my understanding, this is actually the smallest of the BioStyles. Yes, we have a BioStyle 75, 115, and 180. And I have the BioStyle 75, which supposedly is recommended for aquariums up to 75 liters. It has a flow of 350 liters per hour. You guys, I just realized something. On the official box of my filter, this filter is rated at 350 liters per hour, while on the Olibeta website, it is rated at 380 liters per hour. And if you look at the other BioStyles, 115 and 180, they do seem to have different flow rates than the ones showed on the box of my filter. I'm also checking this product on Aquasabi, and on their website, this filter is rated at 350 liters per hour. So I cannot tell you for sure if there is a newer version that has improved flow, but what you see in this video is the version that has the 350 liters per hour flow rate. I think that's a little optimistic, depending, I guess, on your tank, but 75 liters, that's a bit optimistic with this flow, in my personal opinion. I intend to put it on a 30 liter and a 40 liter, so I have two aquariums. If I like it, I might buy another one. If I don't like it, well, I don't know who's gonna buy it from me. Oh, this is chunky. This is the intake. A little chunky there. You cannot tell, you know, from videos, but this is 3 centimeters thick. No joke. That's more than 1 inch in thickness. And I think I need to compare it to something so you can better tell. So this is the intake from a Dennerle Escapers Flow / Blau 365. I do believe they're the same filter. This is it has the same flow, by the way. This is the intake of that one, and this is the intake of the BioStyle 75. I can fit it inside, and I look like a chemist. Cute. So you cannot tell from videos, in my opinion. I certainly couldn't, but this is a chunky intake for a 30 liter. Oh boy. Anyway, now you might wonder, why do I want to put this filter on my tanks when I already found maybe the best hang-on filter? I have a video on it for 7 euros. Well, there are some minuses with that. First, it don't look nice. as I was saying, Oase does very stylish things, and from time to time I get a little bit, you know, wooed by the design. I like nice things, so I'm like, maybe I'll consider. Those filters are good that I reviewed a little while back. However, they don't look so nice. They also have the propeller inside the tank, which partly is good because it's self-priming, partly it's bad because I can't for the life of me hide it with plants. It's there, it's chunky, chunkier than this. So I was thinking, hey, maybe there's a better option out there. I don't know. So I kind of just wanted to try this one out. Right, so at a first glance, this is good quality plastic. Surprise there, because sometimes the quality of the plastic is really weird on some filters. Oh, okay. So we also have here a little floater. This is supposed to indicate when the filter is dirty and you need to clean it, so that's good. I did have another filter that did that. I think is the Seachem Title, something like that, that had this indicator. I never had it up. It never happened to me to get so dirty, the filter, that this thing raised or rose, but I guess it's a good feature to have. Here's the first, you know, slap on the forehead, as it were. This filter has cartridges. I mean, we are living in the beautiful year of 2024. What are we doing with these? What exactly are we even doing with cartridges that need replacing? What are we doing with filter floss? I don't know. But inside we have quite a large chamber where I can put in some matrix. And by the way, the cartridge thing, it's not only Oase. There are quite a lot of companies that still use replaceable cartridges. And even if maybe you can't open the plastic cartridge itself, you know, you can put in here what? A sponge, maybe some filter floss that you cannot wash and reuse. I don't necessarily agree to these cartridges anymore, and I was hoping that a company like Oase that focuses a lot on aquascaping, right? It's not like an entry-level brand, no way, shape, or form, not an entry-level brand. I would have hoped we would have like some chambers, cartridges to put in some bio media, but no. Anyway, however, I knew about this aspect, and I knew that I can just dump this, and maybe I will use this as like the last step here, although, you know, it should be the first, but I think I will have a pre-filter method for it as well. So I'll put this here, and then in the back I'll just fill it with Seachem Matrix, and I think we shall be dandy with that. So yeah, cartridges in 2024, that is quite interesting for a filter that costs as much as this one does. The good thing though is that we have an adjustable flow, and we can turn this little dial up top here and we can adjust the flow. That is great. Not many hang on the back filters do that, so I do appreciate it. And I will say I do appreciate the quality, as I was saying. The materials seem very, very sturdy. And here we have an adjustable little leg, which again, I really appreciate. It's not one of those rotating wheels like most hang on the back filters have, which just falls on the floor or cracks. In some cases, cracks the base of the filter. Did you have it happen? I have. It wasn't fun. Not at all. So it's adjustable quite a lot. I would say 4 centimeters or so. So that's great. Now the filter overall, I'm going to destroy something. The filter overall, this is quite a standard, I guess, pipe. Overall, it looks like quite a sturdy filter, slightly chunky, I would say, on the chunky side. But, you know, that's fine. It's not the only one that is so chunky. And let's see, how do we clean the impeller. I sometimes call it impaler because, shocking, I'm not English, if you couldn't tell. And yeah, sometimes, I don't know, I pronounce things very weirdly. Maybe I should read the instructions, but hey, how hard can it be? I think you just rotate this, comes out, and here. That's an interesting shape. Maybe I haven't seen enough filters, but I believe this is an interesting shape for the propeller. Now, one thing that I'm not yet sure of, and it's kind of important for me, is the level of noise. Since I will eventually have these filters in my living room, and I would appreciate them to be silent. Is this the way? It is not the way? No. Okay, this is the way. Perfect. So I'm really hoping it is a silent filter, although Though I will have to tell you guys, in my experience, Oase filters are not very silent. I also expect some purging of air because all Oase filters do that. Again, the ones that I've tried. So let's say that doesn't bother me all that much because, you know, it's a waterfall type of a thing. But I really hope it's not a noisy filter. Alrighty then, so this has been the initial unboxing. Oh, by the way, we have, I think, 3 color choices. I apparently picked up the dark blue variety. You can have a black, white, or dark blue. I was under the impression it was black. I was not wearing my glasses, so that's on me. Now, the tank that I intend to use this filter on is not ready just yet, but I just wanted to unbox this and see how it looked inside. It is really nice. It really is. Style-wise, yeah, they're one of the brands that do quite a great job at making products stylish, which, you know what? I do like. I like it. But the real test will be when the aquarium is ready. So I will pick this up when that tank is ready for its filter. And I'll also show you the filtration option that I will go for, but definitely it will not be the cartridge that has, yeah, it has activated carbon inside, a sponge, and this filter floss. This I will not use. We're gonna keep it because you never know, but I'm definitely not gonna use that. Quickly, before I go, I forgot. I saw this in a different video. Apparently this is a little telescopic here. Oh, it went in the wrong hole. Right, so we can actually adjust the length of this tube. I will probably just use it like this because my tank is not very tall, and I will probably opt, instead of putting like a filter guard or a sponge here, probably put a sponge inside because it's just so thick. It can fit 2 of my fingers in here. Right, so we'll pick this up when I'm ready to install it on my tank. All right, so here we are in our first bit of a pickle, which I'm sure many of you will not relate to, but maybe some will. The reason why I got this filter was to use it in my little IKEA shelf that is trying to imitate a little bit MJ Aquascaping's beautiful aquarium shelf that I'm sure is famous now. I don't have access to it in my country, so this looks a little similar. I just needed a shelf for my tiny nanos. It's not ideal, whatever. Going on a tangent here. So I wanted it to fit in here. This is the best solution for these types of tanks, a hang on the back filter. Problem is, this filter is so chunky and so awkwardly, let's say, not designed. I guess that's exactly what I'm saying. It's kind of awkwardly designed for the purpose because I cannot get it out of here. Like, there is no way to get it out of here. The only way that I can get it out of here is if I, nope, not that way. If I move in such a manner my aquarium, and I have now space here to get it out like this. Pretty much the problem is that it is very large, very bulky here, and not only that, this is not modular enough. I think that is a good word for it. So I can remove this piece of it, but I still have this long pipe, which even if it's like this, let's say, I cannot put back. It's too big, it's too long. So what I need to do is pretty much always get the aquarium out like this and then install this pipe, which goes in a certain way. So yeah, and in this way I can also remove the filter. But other than that, I cannot remove the filter if the aquarium sits like this. It's absolutely impossible. So the aquarium, in my mind, should sit something like this, and I thought I could get this up because the other filter that I use, the one that I'm trying to replace, absolutely fits in here, but this one absolutely does not. I cannot get it out of here. So what I want to do now is fill this aquarium with water before I go ahead and scape it and everything. Fill it with water, turn on the filter, because if it's also noisy, then I'm not gonna use this filter, and yeah, that's that. Anyway, just something you should know. I kind of knew this was a rather bulky filter, but I did not imagine it was this bulky. In videos, you cannot really tell. Now, mind you, if it didn't have a shelf, if this tank was like completely open up top, you can simply lift the filter and you will have no issue with this. The problem in my case is this pipe. Now, before we do the water test, a few more things that I want to show you. I thought, well, okay, this filter doesn't work in this scenario, right? There's not enough space for it here. It's my problem, it's not the filter's problem. So maybe I can use it with my other tanks. Turns out I can't. And let me show you why. So the only, let's say, open top tanks that I have are the shallows. This is the zebra tank. You can see one of my zebras there. Love my zebras. And I thought, well, okay, I'm gonna switch it with one of these filters and I'll see how I can fit it in, because at least I can move it. This has a removable intake, and I can also adjust the height of the intake on this filter. So I thought, well, okay, I'm just gonna switch the filters. But that cannot happen either, because this filter's intake is way too long for this shallow, and I cannot adjust it. I cannot even cut, let's say, the tube here and maybe this one and make it shorter, because the tube has a pattern here which it's already kind of flimsy, you know. It doesn't really lock in place. It just, so because it has this situation here, and also the bottom, you can see it's a little tighter than the middle of the tube. I cannot cut it, because if I do and I try to insert this, it will fall out. So I cannot modify it like that, and I cannot use it on the shallows. And other tanks I really don't have where I can use this device. So I am determined to give it a proper go on the other tank. So just so you know, if you are planning to have the filter for a shallow, I don't know if it's gonna work out that great, because the tube it comes with is very, very long, as you can see. Now, I'll give you my suspicion of things, because yes, you can totally use this tubing on a very tall tank, but with such a small filter, why would you need this much length on your intake, right? Well, my suspicion, and it's just a suspicion, is that they're just reusing the parts, because this filter also comes in bigger sizes, more adequate for bigger aquariums, 80 liters up. So yeah, I can see how those tanks can benefit from a pipe which is this thick and also this long. But a very tiny filter for a tiny aquarium, I don't see how this is, you know, very appropriate. We're talking about tiny tanks. My suspicion is that they're just reusing the same part for all the filters, cutting cost. For the premium price that I just paid, it doesn't make sense. That's my problem. This does not make sense. It's a tiny filter. Who has such a tall aquarium and uses such a small filter? I mean, I'm sure there are a few aquariums, but they're the very atypical type of aquariums. So if you have one of those very tall aquariums but very narrow, maybe the hexagonal type of aquariums, maybe this is for you. But if you don't, if you have tiny aquariums and you're thinking, okay, the 75 is good for a 30 liter, I don't know. It's very, very tall for no good reason, this pipe. That's my opinion. What do you guys think? Let me know. Right, so with all of that venting out of the way, let's actually try it on my 30 liters. All right, so if I decide to use this filter, whenever I will decide to clean it, I will have to put my tank, I have to empty halfway my tank at least, put it like this, access my filter, and then put it back. It's gonna be a bit of a chore, but you know, I'm a bit stubborn. I want to use this filter if it doesn't make noise. If it makes noises, the deal's off. But let's just see how noisy it is first. All right, here we are. Before we see how loud this thing is, just a quick note, this is not a self-priming filter. The mechanism is outside. I mean, the impeller. Gosh, I need to brush up on my English vocabulary. Sorry about that. Anyway, the pump is outside, so you need to put water in the filter. And in my case, it's kind of hard to do so, but I do have a little trick I'll show you after. But yeah, I did already put some water inside the filter, and now it's the moment of truth. I am nervous. Let's do this. Let's see. Okay, slowly. Oh no, it needs more water. Oops, okay. Needs more water. Okay, my bad. Apparently I didn't put enough water in. So let's add some more water to the filter. This is very awkward. Do I want to do this just for a pretty design? I don't know. Okay, so here's my little trick. It's a water dispenser. So I'm just gonna put the tube here in the tank and slowly and surely, yeah, pour some water in the filter. Alrighty, hopefully this is enough. Let's see. You can do it, you can do it. Am I open all the way? This is minimum, this is max. Alrighty, here we are. Okay, so I'll get you in closer and we can check together the noise level of this filter. Definitely with the lid on is a heck of a lot noisier. I think we can hear the difference. It sounds like a grinder. That's exactly how it sounds like. For comparison, here is a Blau filter, same as the Nettle Escapers Flow. Maybe I should shut down the big tank because I have another Oase filter there and that's loud too. So here we are, I shut down the BioMaster. So quiet. This is the sound of the Escapers Flow / Blau 360 something. Almost nothing. This is the sound of the Oase. For the funsies, the sound of this 7-euro filter. Yeah, shocking. Quite shocking, I would say. And because I know you didn't believe me, here is the BioMaster off. And I'll turn it on real quick for you guys. Is the BioMaster on? I don't know if my husband will let me keep this filter in the living room, but yeah. Okay, so let's say that you have a power failure one day, you're not home, there's nobody checking your tanks. Let's see if the filter starts and works normally, because I've had it happen in the past. Some filters which were not self-priming, I'm looking at Aqua Clear, which is a good filter, but it's gave me some problems. So some filters, after a power outage, they just simply don't prime themselves anymore. So I'm gonna turn on the plug and let's see what happens. Yeah, it's okay. And even with this level of water, which is pretty low, a Aqua Clear will struggle, or for me it struggled. This one doesn't struggle, which is good. So I don't think you're gonna have a damaged filter when you come home if you have a power outage, as long as you don't let the water level go further down. If the water level decreases, especially lower than where the impeller is, usually these types of filters do struggle. I feel a little bad and weird doing these Oase reviews and just trying Oase stuff because none of them truly really work out that great for me. So I think I'll just stop. I think this is the last Oase thing I'm gonna try because they're definitely not meant for me and my arrangement. But I hope you can get something out of this review. Right, here we are. I don't even know how I left it off, but the aquarium that this filter was for is now running an internal filter. And it's doing okay. I would have loved to have used something like this, but as you could see, the noise, which is like the #1 issue with it, is unbearable to me. Maybe I have some sensitivities, I don't know, but I think that if you're using this in your bedroom, in your living room, somewhere where, you know, you need quiet, I don't know if it's gonna be all that nice living with this filter. And also the fact that it's not as versatile. I was thinking, okay, so it doesn't fit in that drawer. I'm gonna put it on one of my shallows, maybe in the kitchen, you know, maybe I'm gonna do a shallow in my future kitchen. No, it's too tall. That thing is too tall and it takes up so much space. The intake, it's so thick. I didn't realize it was like this watching other reviews. So yeah, you should know all of these things, and I hope this video helped you out. And if you have experience with this filter and it's a little different than mine, let me know in a comment below. Let us know what your experience has been with it and how do you best use it. Because if you're using it, I guess, in a pet shop or an environment which is noisy already, maybe a restaurant, I think it's absolutely fine. And if you're using it on, let's say, a 20-gallon, 80-liter aquarium, again, it might be absolutely fine. And it's gonna look stylish as heck. I'm hoping to find somebody locally who needs this for one of those scenarios, because it's absolutely good and I like the flow and everything, but yeah, not as versatile as I thought it would be. Right, so with that said, let's end it here. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you got something out of this review, and I'm looking forward to reading about your experience in the comments below. So with that said, I'll see you next time. Have a nice day. Bye.